All right. So, welcome to our community call as Repress. Before I go on further, I have one simple ask, or let me just explain that. Um, Maybe I've explained it in earlier conversation about the purpose of this community, and I wanted to reiterate because it's evolving. It's evolving, and right now, what's occurring to me is um, very purpose of this community is I call it as a community of coaches and healers, um, because I deeply know that a coach can become very successful um, when they do a deep work within themselves, and a lot of healing is required. Every human um, go through a lot of evolution, a lot of fear, a lot of insecurities. So a lot of healing is required, and we have a lot of blessed people like maybe Tanushri and other people. Last time, I think many people have joined. So and coaches also. So my only vision right now, which is emerging, is hey, how about this? That we have a beautiful community where a coach wants healing, and you have a healer here, you have a therapist here in the community, and a therapist or a healer may be an aspiring coach, and they may be looking for an experience from the coaching, from the coaches. So it is kind of that environment which I am right now aiming for. Having said that, name itself justifies that it's a rippler. That means I truly believe that we all have the power to create the ripple effect in our lives at a massive level, so that the world begins to shift. But our objective is not to shift the world, our objective is to shift our lives at a massive level. And that can happen if we start raising our consciousness. And that is why this group, uh, I feel, is the best group in the form of the right skill set, right balance. You have a community of healers, you have a community of coaches, and going forward it will grow like that. So that's the intent, and we are just crawling right now, we are just evolving right now. So um, that's the intent. I just wanted to stop here and see if you guys questions about it.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. Hey, Shaista.
Hi,
Hello. Hello.
hi.
Hi, Shaista.
Sorry, I got late. Little bit.
Welcome, welcome. Shaista is the first time joiner, and so welcome to this community known as Ripples. I just finished an introduction of the Rippler. You can watch the recording. Uh, this session is being recorded. I hope you're okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, before we go on, let's do a Shaista. Why don't you do a quick introduction of yours to our listeners?
So, uh, I was working in IT and I have around like 14 years of experience in IT. So I left my job and I am just pursuing my passion. I am a YouTuber also as well. And I'm just exploring the different modalities, healing and like life coaching. I mean, I am also exploring the way I have not started, but I'm learning. So I'm on my way to start that career.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Welcome. Hey, Deepika, how are you doing?
Hey Kapil. Hi all. Yeah, doing good.
Right.
Yeah, so won't be able to turn on video, but yeah, I'll be a silent spectator today.
No issues. So, Deepika and Shaista, we just finished our introduction in terms of why this community was formed, what is the purpose of the community. So, you can very well watch the recording to know it. What is the deeper purpose of this community? But now I wanted to do a round of quick round, like let's say spend just 1 minute each, 5 minutes total, before we jump onto the actual conversation, of what is what is the book you guys are reading and how it's impacting your life? Just give us an introduction about that. These days, if you're reading any book, which you feel you
So I am reading a book called How to Listen, uh, and it is more about building your active listening skills.
Mhm.
I've I've read it and there is a gap for almost 5 6 days now. I've been here reading it on Audible actually. So I've just started with it, and I think the first chapter setting the context as to why listening is important and where it helps. Uh, I feel that as coaches, because we absorb a lot of listening while we are talking to people with our clients, customers, and things. Sometimes we might zone out. I mean, at least I zone out a couple of times. But how to maintain, or it is almost like keep resetting yourself to bring yourself back to listening skills. That is where I thought like this. If there are any techniques in the book that can help, I don't remember the author, but How to Listen is a book title which I think most of us here are counselors, therapists, and it might help uh, you to work on it. There is one book that I already finished reading, and it's a wonderful book for women to overcome their self doubts and a lot of biases that we hold when we are working towards building something. I think it's a very good book for coaches. Irrespective of the gender, I think you can still read it. It's called Play It Big by Tara Moore. That book was also, I had a quick, I didn't lose the momentum when I was doing that book, Audible, again on Audible. So every day I was listening to it for almost 1 hour, and it kind of talks a lot about inner critic and inner mentor. And a wonderful book, even when you're coaching clients, especially with women. It has a lot of tried and tested way of bringing that conversation out for women to work on themselves. So that is another book that I feel was very impactful. Though I have been working in that area, but they put some nice names and given a framework to it, so it's easy for you to remember if you like frameworks and things like that.
Thank you. And please do share in the chat, everyone of you, about these small snippet of with this little bit of experience, how this book has been helpful to you so far. Thank you, Tanushree. Yes, who would like to go next?
Yeah, I can go next. So I'm reading this book called Shift in Being by Leon. I don't remember his full name. Leon,
Yeah,
yeah, that is his first name. It's an
yeah,
amazing book which is basically on deep transformation coaching.
yes,
While I was, pursuing my certification course as well, so we were introduced to the transformational coaching, especially, right? So how transformational coaching impacts the coachee when you start, working on their emotions and feelings, basically, not just identifying the problem, but it is as if you're coaching the problem and also the coachee person as such, right?
yeah,
So that is where transformational coaching and deep coaching comes into picture, where you're also focusing and directing your questions towards emotions, feelings, and behavior, the triangle, basically. And the book beautifully takes you through this transformational journey, how we have to shift ourselves, first of all, so that we equip ourselves in identifying our own emotions and feelings, so that we are well equipped to identify the coach's, you know, perspective and circumstance based on the situation that they bring out during the session. Basically, it's a very beautiful book, and if you are, passionate about transformational journey, this is one of the wonderful books I have ever come across. Yeah. If you are interested in exploring, definitely you should buy it and start reading.
yeah. And you know what? This book I started some days back, 1 month back. I just read one chapter, and then I think it just got overridden by any other book, which was a priority for me. But this is in my queue, by the way. Huh? Thank you for sharing.
Definitely, definitely, yeah.
Have you got your What's the name of the book?
Shift in being.
It's in the chat.
Yeah,
Tanisha
yeah,
is doing
yeah.
a beautiful job right now in typing this. On, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Arifa, you would like to go?
Yeah, sure. So, Kapil, I am reading the book which Sajana, me, we all are reading, The Illusion of Money. And I think it is an amazing book. When I started, I didn't feel the depth so much. Now that we are on the third and fourth chapter, it is like mind blowing. So, whatever is your relationship with yourself, uh, it is kind of similar thing is happening with money in your life. And whatever are your the recent chapter that we read was whatever are your negatives, if we embrace them, then they no longer exist and you are in a different frame. So, I mean, I was like bowled over by that chapter and I'm still assimilating it. And I'm doing my self work with that chapter. It is like too good. It is too good. Because mostly what we do is whatever is our negative, we shove it under the carpet. We don't want it. Okay, I'm introvert, I will hide it somewhere. No, you have to bring it out, accept it. Yes, this is what I am. But nobody does that. They just want to hide it and show everybody that, look, this is the great person that I am. So it was a big eye opener for me. Amazing book.
Thank you. By the way, Arifa said to me when I suggested this book, she said, Kapil, don't refer me another book, please. I'm not a very great book reader. I don't read
No,
books. And
I
now
am a voracious reader, Kapil. What happened is since my son came into my life, since he was 3 and all, I used to read before I sleep. He started throwing my books around. And since he was 3, is 10 now, I kind of slowly stopped reading. Otherwise, I like to read books. It is my thing while sleeping. I love to read books. But slowly it went away and I didn't catch up. And this book is kind of taking me back to the place that where I was, where I used to read. And this book, the pace at which we are going, one chapter per week, it's not like we are very fast. It is just perfect. It is just perfect.
Hmm. Beautiful. Thank you. I'm glad that you are getting benefit. Yes, Sujana.
Yes, sure, Kapil. So I've been reading two books. One of them is what Arifa mentioned, The Illusion of Money. And the second book I just finished reading yesterday, that is The Magic of Big Thinking. Okay. So both these books are like awesome, I would say. And the beauty of both these books, I mean, with me, like there are so many books that are so good, we say. But if you know what has come to my understanding is if we can really live that when we are reading that book, and if we can really live that book in the sense if we are implementing those things in our life, and when we are seeing that magic, that is so beautiful. Okay. So, for example, in the magic of big thinking, it's all about thinking big, no matter what, right? So, yesterday, what I did, in fact, I did this yesterday only, that because I finished reading the book, I just sat down and I wrote down the gist of the book. I did this yesterday, and today you are asking for this thing. So, I'll just read out what the author says. Okay. So, there is magic in thinking big, but it is so easy to forget that. When you hit some rough spots, there is a danger that your thinking will shrink in size. And when it does, you will lose. So now and then he said that prepare something, a poster kind of a thing, and write these things, the things that he's telling you now, write these things and hang it in front of you. Now, what are the things to be written? When little people try to drive you down, think big. When that I haven't got what it takes feeling creeps up on you, think big. When an argument or quarrel seems inevitable, think big. When you feel defeated, think big. When romance starts to slip, think big. Now, this again, he has explained it deeply. Like, this is in case of your partners, when you feel that my partner is not loving me enough, something happened, now he's not having so much time for me, and all that. Think big. Okay. When you feel your progress on the job is slowing down, think big. Think big enough to be immune to the attacks of petty people. Think big enough to see how good you really are. Think big enough to see that quarrels, arguments, feuds, and fusses will never help you go where you want to go. Okay, and I think big enough to see that defeat is a state of mind. Thinking I can do better, switch on your creative path. When you say that I can do it better, what you do is you are actually switching on to your creative mode. And think big enough to see that if you put service first, money takes care of itself. Okay. Now, what is happening with me is, on one hand we are reading the other book, The Illusion of Money. I think that is also the same thing. That money is a byproduct. When you are connecting with your deeper self, then money is just one byproduct. But what is the real thing? The real abundance is already there within you, right? So I could also find a very beautiful relationship between these two things. And as I said, the most important thing with both the books that I feel is that for the first time I feel that I've started living that. Earlier it was बहुत अच्छा लिखा है, बहुत अच्छा लिखा है, such a kind of a thing, no? But now it is like applying in my life and then seeing that magic to unfold. That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Sujana, I have a question. So think big meaning think positive is what they're saying, right?
It's not about positive or negative, but sometimes you get into that small mindedness, right? So वो हम जो कहते हैं ना कि छोटी सोच. Think big in the sense that think not in terms of giving up. Think not, so you can say positive or negative, but यहाँ पे author is really not mentioning those words positive. He is saying big, think first class. He is using such terms. Always think first class. Always go first class in whatever you are doing. Say you go for a coaching session, or you are just so for example, he gives the example also somewhere. You are talking to a client, a discovery call के लिए जब client आया है, and somebody who is not your client, some person you are meeting randomly, थोड़ा difference आ जाता है the way you present. Okay, but what he is mentioning is go first class in both the conversations with that client who is a potential client also, and with the person you are meeting. So that is thinking big, going first class.
So there's one inspiration coming to me by looking at your energy, Sujana, and I'm deeply moved with your energy. This is just a suggestion. Why don't you create a video as a summary of the book, Thinking Big?
I should create a
Summary video
of-
form, and share it with everyone. Share it with everyone here.
no, but integrating both the books.
No. I'm saying this book, Thinking Big, that book, Illusion of Money. Anyways, we are doing a lot of work, and I'm planning to do that. Anyways, but
Yeah, I do that for this
you
book,
do
right? For big thinking.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. So quickly, I'll move on. Yes, Illusion of Money have been the biggest buster for me from January 15th till now. This is my third read of the book. I'm fallen in love with this book. I think I'm greatly moved. I feel like every day I just open a page and then that page never ends, because the essence of that book is to live the book. And one of the ways which I found is this book has been a support system for me, not to take the knowledge, but just to intricate my thinking a little bit more, going a little bit deeper into the inquiry, and then leaving mind aside and just doing that feel the feeling work. So fallen in love with this work, and I just was greatly attached to what you said, Deepika, was shifting me, because it's about when you do that around emotions, feelings, and on your own behaviors. That's when I think it is really transformational book, I would say. Just 200-page book. Can you believe it? It's mega transformative book. So don't This is the book, by the way. But don't go with the title, Illusion of Money, and you can replace money with any external chase. Anything. It could be like maybe Shaista. Sorry, I'm just taking your name. Maybe if it's YouTube, oh, I want 1 lakh subscribers for my YouTube channel. External chase. Anything external. Oh, I want this money. Oh, I want 100 clients. Anything which is external to you, that is the main magic of this book. So it says why chasing money is stopping you from receiving it. So why chasing anything external is stopping you to receive it. So that is why one of my client is just wanted to check. She does not have any money problem in her life, and she does not have any money related problem. But she's reading the book, and she is now creating a mega impact, or beginning to see that impact in her relationship also. So that powerful this book is. So right now I'm just falling in love with this guy, Kyle Sees. People call him, he is the next, what do you say? I forgot the name. Spiritual guru. Okay. Anyways,
Eckhart.
Eckhart. Yes. People say
Eckhart.
he is the son of Eckhart.
No, Eckhart, it's hard for to you to listen to him because he goes so slow. I get lost only. What is he saying?
Okay.
You
All right.
can't catch down to it.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for this. Now let's jump on. Let's spend half an hour to 40 minutes with the Q&A mode going. And thank you, Tanushri, for, I think it was you, right, Tanushri? If I'm not wrong, which you have created a bunch of things in your mind and a lot of things. And yeah, it's really great to see that. Let's demystify one thing at a time. So please go ahead with what's in top of your mind for this group and for yourself.
I'll just go through the topics because that day I was like in that full flow and I wrote everything. I
Yeah.
was just thinking, but on the top of my mind are things like I think whatever we do, coaching, consulting, or therapy and things like that,
Hmm.
healing or anything. Uh, there is a process that we need to set up for ourselves, and in coaching it is quite set, in counseling it is quite set that this is the process that we go through, a framework is given and things like that. But even under that framework there are things like sometimes I feel I'm lost for questions as to what questions should I begin with. I'm not a small talker, so for me it becomes I drive straight to the point, so I feel that I should use some nice questions to begin with. And I was thinking of just creating a question bank for different parts of the coaching process that we do, and I think it will be useful even in therapy. Even those who do therapy or healing or counseling can also add questions in that, because a lot of work is intertwined in that. And while we say we are doing coaching, but there is a lot of part where I feel coaching is also a healing technique only in a way or not. So if we could put up some of those kind of questions that come to us and how we can um, so, like one of the tenets in coaching is don't ask the question why. Ask how, what, where, when, which would be a better, because the moment you say why, it is like a direct hit for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And questions like this, where we can avoid that part and make it more simpler, but also drives home the point for the coachee to not go around beating the bush and come straight to the point. So, I was thinking from that angle. It can be in different parts of our coaching journey, where it could be with maybe the beginning or the body of the coaching, or the how to bring everything together and um, check whether the goal is been reached or not, and do that check in at the end of the coaching session. So uh, I would appreciate like if anyone has thoughts around it, what I would like to.
Yeah. Beautiful question. I'll just quickly share my views. There was something coming to my mind while you were sharing is, and I really appreciate And I remember at one point of time when I started my journey, I was exactly into the same boat, and I had created a big document because I was reading the book called Goals by Brian Tracy, and that
Mm.
was the major book for me to jump into the coaching because it has started giving me a lot of insights and self-reflection when I did not have any coach, and this book became my coach. So I started writing those questions, created an Excel. Oh, is situation mein ye questions? Is situation mein ye questions? And then I've created big Excel. Where is this Excel? I don't know. Now I can dig that. But having said that, there was one quote which is coming to my mind. The magic is, and you might have heard, magic is in not in asking the questions. Magic is in asking the right question at the right time. And by having those questions, yes, you can be aware because it will be in your awareness. But with me, particularly, problem began when I started. It was too much of an awareness, and I started consciously remembering them and then trying to fit in. अच्छा अभी क्या क्वेश्चन पूछना है? Oh, उसमें से 1 2 3 4 oh, fourth question looks fitting. Okay, let me ask that. So what happens every time? I remember every time I was recalling those questions and bringing in, trying to figure out in my mind, I was losing the content, I was losing the listening. That is number one. And number two is every time I was using those questions, the quality of the conversation became lower, 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 and lower and lower. And I realized at one point of time, I said, chuck this off, chuck this off. And only few questions I picked up. What else? The
Yes.
same question. What else?
Yeah,
And
these are the kind of questions that I need. I mean, in the
so,
sense like it's more like a practice for us not to. I'm not saying that open the document while we are
yeah,
working with the coachee or anything, but it's more like the more you see this document, you kind of build that vocabulary for yourself, even to question yourself. I'm not just saying it just for the coachee or client, but even when we are thinking in our minds about things that are happening around us, it helps us to question ourselves also in that structure.
yeah.
So you rightly mentioned, finally the everything boils down to what else in the coaching
And,
journey.
and curiosity, because what happens, and I, this is my practical moment. I remember moment when I dropped really from my mind this question list. You know what happened? I was became so present. I started becoming so present to the conversation, and I
Yeah.
remember a few moments in the few calls, and then I more drew towards it, and automatically it's like God is giving me the questions. I was into the situation right now. Even sometimes I get lost, oh, what to do, and then I ask, tell me what is the guidance, and suddenly a guidance will come, and then you are going to ask that question, and it's very very random, very
Intuitive.
I
Yeah.
don't know what is the next question I'm going to ask. So again, that's a practice. So
Yes.
one message for everyone here: don't believe me, test this and see what happens. um, because everybody will come with a unique experience, and nobody's experience is a bad experience. So try everything out, because I did not listen to anyone. I tried everything. If the coach is saying don't do this, I was doing that only because my gut was telling me to do. If your gut is telling you to do, follow this question bank, do that and try and see what happens.
Yeah.
Sky will not fall. Yes, I'm open to hear. Yes, Sujana.
Yeah. So I just want to
Before I
also.
go, sorry, before I go to you, Deepika has raised a hand
Yeah,
also.
yeah, sure,
Yes.
sure, sure.
Yeah, no problem. So while you said about the questionnaire keeping ready, right? So I had one funny experience. I mean, most of the times, maybe coincidentally or not, I would keep a questionnaire, before the session. I would keep it open. And it so happened every time that, okay, suppose my questionnaire said, okay, what is your current situation? How did this situation help you? What else you could have done? Questions like that, right? But every time, I don't know, when I meet the coachee, the situation wouldn't match the questions at all. So I would be so lost. Oh my God, what should I ask next? You know, doing that all tab never worked. And
Mm.
I shouldn't have that question in my mind that, okay, I don't know what to do next. So that moment I was like, okay, chuck the questionnaire. You just follow your instincts. So the next thing that I started doing is I have a book now. So I write the coach's name. I start writing down whatever they say. I'm so sorry about the background noise.
No worries, no
So
worries, no
this
worries.
kind of helped me in active listening. Right, I am attentive, completely there, present, and understanding what the coachee actually wants and what is the scenario that they're talking about. Right, I make sure I'm writing all the keywords without fail. I have already filled one entire 200 pages book so far. So this has helped me. And even during our coaching practice, what my mentors used to tell, uh, that greatly helped, whenever they are bringing out with situation scenarios, especially when they are talking about pain, right? Always ask, how is this impacting? Okay, always try to ask questions starting from how. If you had not done this, how do you think the situation would have been? So this takes the situation in a different direction where you start addressing their emotions and feelings. When they speak about something, okay, can you name this feeling you're getting as of now? Most of the time they would say anger, but anger is not the one that they would be, facing at that point of time. So I ask, okay, when you say anger, can you go deep down, take a moment, think, and tell me what is it behind the anger that you're showing? A lot of times I saw people just crying their heart out when I asked that question, and that is when I realized, targeting that, that is when we are kind of breaking the barriers, right? Yeah, that was the deep transformational coaching which I did. I mean, I was so satisfied after that. Yeah, it was amazing. So check the
Yeah,
questionnaire and follow your instincts. Basically.
beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for this beautiful share. Thank you, Deepika. Yes.
That's the method even I use, Deepika. I have a book which contains all the conversation that I have, and I just pick up the keywords when they're talking, and I just note it down. They will feel that I'm taking a lot of notes, but I'm thinking when I write a lot. So I use that method for myself also.
Mm, beautiful. This is so rich conversation. Thank
That
you.
is so true. That is so true.
Yeah. Yes, Suchna, you have
Yeah.
anything to share?
What I wanted to share was like I think I have tried and tested both the things. What Tanishri is saying, like having that question bank. So for me, it is like for a long time, I was so much into that questions thing that having that right questions, collecting those right questions, and I have made a good collection. I do have a very good collection of questions, I would say.
There you go.
A very good collection, at least of
Mm,
100 questions. Okay. And for a long time, I was so proud of them that I have the best because you know what I would really do whenever I connected with a coach. Okay. I would always like, you discuss with something with them. And then I will just ask them that in this situation, what could be the best question? And of course, the coach will say something, right? So I'll always note down. And in that way, I made a very good question. Fine. And when it came to my clients, I would say the first five clients I've coached completely based on this material. Okay, this material. And what I would really do is, okay, I had a discovery meeting. Now the client has stated me a problem. Okay, in discovery meeting, I know what is the goal for the client. Now I have 100 questions. Okay, above 100 question में से best 10 questions pick करो for this client, right? And then use them. So somehow it worked. Sometimes it did not work or whatever, but I somehow managed to coach them maybe for 3 sessions, 5 sessions. I did. Okay. But somewhere I think very soon I realized that I was not experiencing that. I was not experiencing that. And when I really understood this thing, and then when a concept of deep listening ki jab baat aayi, which some coaches are talking about, and when I started getting into this thing, I understood that how magical this is. And that is what I'm saying. So what Kapil is saying, I have done this for a long time. And then when वो सारे क्वेश्चंस को रख दिया साइड में and then just present over it. Like you are just totally present in that conversation. So yes, that helps. Okay, Tanushri, the question that you have seen, because you know the vocabulary and all, that helps you to put that question in a very confident manner.
Yeah.
Okay, that helps. Not exactly that, but it helps. That the words come very naturally to you. But yes, the question is again emerging in that space only. Right, so I'll give you a very good example. अभी कुछ time पहले की बात है, around 4-5 months पहले की बात है. One of my coach buddies, okay, in my coaching community, where from where I did my certification, she just asked me that Sujna, I have one more coach. Like she has a friend who is like to be a coach, but she has done it from some other institute or something, wherein she lacks all these competencies and all. So I just want to give her a demo. So can you just we will just do a coaching session. You coach me and I'll come with a problem and we will just show her. She said. So I decided that I am going to go with all complete presence and nothing, like no question bank and all. So I somewhere felt that in that session for the first time. Okay. I felt that in this for the first time that I was completely being present. The girl with whom I was coaching, she came up with a very, very sensitive issue about her breakup and all of that thing. But still the way I could handle it. Okay. So now this girl, the third person who was watching me, she just asked me at the end. I was so surprised. From where did you get that questions? She asked me. Okay, because she was a coach, right? She wanted to be a coach. She just asked me from where did you get those questions? So I told her I did not get them from anyone. They were just emerging in that moment. So they were not a part of my question bank. The point is that, right? So at that point I understood that if you are totally present, you can come up with even more beautiful questions. And what Kapil is saying, the question which is right in that right time, that is important rather than exactly the vocabulary or something.
Yeah.
So that is something that I understood.
There's beautiful. Thank you for emphasizing. There's something very beautiful book. I don't know if you've heard Marissa Reynolds, Coach the Person, Not the
Coach the person, not the
and
not the person.
sometimes we as a coaches get into the mode. In the initial journey, I have seen that I have been into that situation when I'm trying to figure out what question to ask or how to really go about it, thinking because there is a gap, there is a silence, and I have forgotten. Maybe I have forgotten. I have not been aware that it's not my responsibility to find a solution for this guy. It's
Them.
this guy's
Yeah.
responsibility if I can just create that space for him or her. And I think that silence, sometimes that awkwardness when I don't have anything to say. What I remember is few days back, I was like clueless. Conversation was not going anywhere, and I just sat, did not said anything, and I just closed my eyes, and then I just sat for a minute, and then something just got appeared. And there was another moment when I sat for a moment and there was nothing was appearing. That guy itself started to think, and problem solved. Problem solved. There was no question required. Silence itself was
No, silence
enough.
plays a big role. I accept. I agree
Yes.
that.
Yeah. So
It's
if you
very
feel there is,
powerful.
yeah, if you feel that there is no question is coming, beautiful. Embrace that silence.
Mm.
Take a sigh and then just sit. Sit, close your eyes, do whatever you feel like doing it. So that's another book, by the way, huh? Coach the
Coach the problem,
person.
not the person.
Yeah. No, no, ulta. Coach the
Coach
person,
the
not the person.
person, not the problem. Sorry.
Not the person. Yes, Sonal, welcome for our community known as Ripplers. Welcome. Please, we will take your introduction in the last, but just wanted to see if you can hear us all
Kapil,
fine.
I think Shasta is raising her hand for a while.
Yes, yes, Shaista. Yes, yes, yes. Please go on.
I wanted to ask a question about the niche clarity. Actually, I was exploring different things, and I just wanted little some suggestions about the niches and what we can pick up. Like some NLP, various things are there, healing modalities are there. Just wanted to hear you on that.
Which
How
which
would
area?
you manage
Which area? Like which career you're trying to choose?
like
If
coaching and healing?
coaching and healing. Okay. Hmm. Again, that's a beautiful conversation. We are changing the gears now, but before that, let's do a quick round table. Are we good with this question, Tanushri? You have
Yes,
anything
yes.
to use?
No.
So I do have. So now, right now, we have Sujana's bank, which I believe Sujana don't mind sharing it, and I do also have a list of questions came from Rich Litwin. I don't know if you know Rich Litwin, one of the finest coaches, and his questions is also like that. What else? Kya kare? Ye kare? Wo kare? Like sort of questions. I'll flick those questions to you. See if you wanted to pick up from that list something meaningful in your journey. He is one of the most experienced coaches I have ever met, along with the Steve Chandler. They both have together written a book called The Prosperous Coach uh, to build a coaching business. Now, Rich Litwins, go about it. I'll share that in the group. All right. Anything else from anyone before we move on to this new question, new theme? All right. Yes, let's go on to niche. I'll just begin the conversation. I personally ran for the niche for 1 year and I got exhausted. I personally have changed my niche when I started my coaching journey 10 to 15 times. Thinking other people's are doing. I do this by doing this, then introvert niche, then that niche, and I got exhausted. And I said, I'm losing my authenticity because I was not that which I was posing. I was just evolving. So my belief in coaching journey, Shaista, is that niche will knock your door one day. Just begin your journey as a coach, and when you will have coaching done for 100 plus people, you will have a variety of things seen, and based on that you may get in sense, inner sense, an instinctive sense, experiential sense, that what is the niche for me. So to me, niche has always given me the, like, as if I'm in the jail. It has not given me the enough freedom. So I've checked the niche as well. Because let's say, for example, there was a season when I was working on habits. Oh, I'm a habit coach now. There was a time when I'm working on my parenting skills. Oh, I'm a parenting coach now. So you as a coach always evolve in multiple areas of the life. And that's in your mind, because if you are in habit, you're working on a habit, routines, all those things, productivity, those things, it's that's going on in your mind, right? And what happens, you become that. And when you become that, obviously you feel inspired with those ideas. You always looking for someone, hey, ye koi habit ka banda hai kya, I can help him. For productivity, I am worked on myself, so let me help on productivity. So this is the type of thing which was going on in my head. And then when the chapter got closed, all my energy has gone. I said, where is the dish gone? So I literally chucked off the niche, but I'm not saying there are different ways to build a coaching practice. I feel when you go for the niche, it's my personal experience. I became very, very restrictive, and I want freedom in my life. Freedom is one of the core essence in me as values. So I don't want to compromise my freeness and freedom. So that's why I till now I don't think so. I have got any niche, but I have got an approach, inside out approach, and that really resonates with me. So I said, okay, I'm an inside out coach. You can call me in transformation coach / inside out coach. So that became my niche. You can say that, but yeah, but it's not a specific area. I'm a health coach, relationship coach. Uh, what I've seen is the way inside out coaching works. it works not only in your career, it works in every area of the life. So if the person is coming to me for career, there was a client who came to me for the career, and I end up coaching her in the relationship issues, self-confidence and relationship issues. So, this is um, very dynamic in the nature. So that's comes with an experience. So yeah, but I'm open to hear. Yes, Sarifa, please go on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Kapil. So, for if you're doing coaching for leadership, then what is it that you would be coaching typically? Because I was always confused. What is it that you coach in that?
The personal, this is my personal thing. I wanted to coach humans. If that human is leader, that's fine. So that's why I'm not even saying it's a leadership coaching. I'm not a leadership coach. I'm a every human coach. So I'm good with that. It's not really creating a label for me as a leadership coach. That's my personal thing. Huh? It need not to be
Yeah.
yours.
So I'll just like to add here, Kapil, is what he said is like you're coaching a human, right? You're coaching a person. Now that person can be somebody who is working as a mid-level manager, okay, a mid-level junior manager, okay. So now he will come up with his requirements. He will tell you what the problem is. But if you're coaching a senior leader, his level of problems will be different. He's managing a team of maybe 50 people or 100 people, and he is facing some challenges with that. So you are coaching that thing, right? But yes, again, one more thing, Kapil, that is happening, that some things may be like, you can generalize. For example, it doesn't matter whether you call yourself a career coach or you call yourself a personal development coach or something, but maybe to call yourself a leadership coach is a bit difficult, I would say, in the sense that has a lot to do with your age also. I mean, somebody who's in their 30s, if that person says that I am a leadership coach, so either that person has to have that level of experience, because when you say leadership coach, your leaders are always going to be like plus 40, 50, right? So
So you
that,
need to be senior in that sense. That's what I wanted to ask. Because their level of questions, like if you're at that level, director level, it is very different. And I think that coaching itself is very quite different, right?
although I think Kapil, what Kapil is thinking, that if you are even 30, you can coach a person of 50. That is that is possible to some extent, I would say. But it again depends on the person, I would say, the mindset of person. But when we say leadership coaching, no, it's with professional background other.
Ah,
Since you are
correct.
actually
More like corporate type ka.
generally they don't even entertain coaches who are like freelancing, like kind of self-employed. They are already going for some corporate coaches and all. My point is that for leadership, and either if that person is a personal coach like us, then again that person has to come from a lot of experience, like 10, 15, 20 years of experience. So that is something go hai block mere andar bhi. Yeah, I will write anything. For example, today only I was thinking कि LinkedIn के profile में it is like for a long time it has been personality development and career growth coach, and most of the times I am working on mindset. In this week that I've been working, I am really working on mindset. Why am I not calling myself a mindset coach? Now this came from the fact that when I did my certification, I was told by that my director and all, he was thinking like mindset is such a weird thing to keep, right? Some people may think, what mindset? My mindset is already good. What you will do with my mindset? Some people may think that way. So फिर मैंने cross, no mindset. But actually, I know that that is one thing that I'm working on most when I'm really, talking to a client. So today I decided that okay, अभी करते हैं, बहुत दिन हो गए, यही एक title है. So I'll just change personality development and mindset coach. So I feel all these titles we can experiment with, we can keep. It really doesn't matter. As Kapil said, we are coaching a human. But to have titles like this, leadership coach,
Yeah,
I
it is a heavy title.
not go for it right now. Yeah.
Right.
Go
And
go
one
with
more
my
question.
Yeah. So before we go on further, let's do a round table on this question. Uh, so go with what your gut is saying. I don't feel like creating that label, so I'm not creating. I might create after 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. Let it get evolved through me, um, and yeah, follow your instinct. That's the message. But I'm open to hear from Deepika. Yes, Deepika, please.
Yeah, so what resonated with me is the three areas, three most, areas which kind of were your problems, your own problems, which you have addressed, you have transformed, right? Like, for example, it could be your personal space, your relationship, the way it was earlier. And once you started coaching journey, how is it now? Or it could be with respect to your own mindset, or it could be self love. So for me, self love is something which is in the top, right? Because I hated myself a couple of years ago. And the coaching journey has kind of transformed. And today I love myself more than anything else, right? And
Wow.
when I see anything with respect to self love, right, where people tell, I'm lost, I am kind of feeling lonely, I don't like myself and all this. So that is the person to whom I reach out first, because I know how it is. I know what we have gone through. And for me, it just comes automatically. The questions automatically come from within, right? So this is what I would suggest everybody. As Kapil said, yes, I don't want to again tag myself with any tag for that matter. I am a coach, again a human coach. I am completely passionate about the transformational journey that I have had myself, right? And yeah, anything that resonates. When I look at I mean, not just the problem. When I just look at person's, history or anything for that matter related to what he or she is going through. So that is when I would reach out. Yeah, if it is resonating with me, I'm all for it. Basically, the three things.
Beautiful, beautiful. What what I said and what you said is totally resonating with me, Deepika. That because you are being that person in that moment, and the questions will come
Absolutely,
automatically. You don't need to
absolutely. Yeah, you don't need any questionnaire, right?
you're being that. So you are your authentic self, and then it just
Yes,
flows through you. Yeah.
yes.
Beautiful. Yes, Arifa, please. Sorry, you're in mute here.
Okay, I had two questions. One is like about the listening part. Like the 8 or 10 people that I did, I was very present at that time. God's grace, I don't know how, but sometimes like I kind of zone out while listening. That does happen. So does it happen with anybody else, or like I do take notes because I don't want to forget what they're saying. Uh, but uh, I want to ask, like, does it happen with anybody that they zone out and then come back? Okay, what did they say, like that?
May I ask you what kind of zone out it is?
Zone out meaning they're talking, but then you just are not listening.
And then doing what?
Like if they're talking for half an hour, in between you just zoned out because they were continuously talking. You
And
didn't
for how
listen,
long?
say
And for how
one
long
minute,
this happened with you?
maybe a minute or so, or 30 seconds. I don't know.
30 seconds. You lost the content basically. What they're saying, you are
Yeah.
totally you
Yeah,
did
then
not
I have to
listen.
bring myself back. Yeah.
So you did not listen the words, or you did not
I listened the
did not
words, but I didn't uh,
comprehend.
process it. Yes.
Yes, Deepika, you want to share something? Yes.
So again, one practice which I think through one of the sessions like this, I'm not sure if, yeah, I don't remember which group was it. So there, one tip that I got, I don't know, for some reason I would yawn. It was not because I was sleepy, but I would yawn, right? So when I shared this, I was actually hesitant to share that. Whenever I was constantly listening, I would yawn. So when I put this across in that community meeting, right, they did mention, it seems this is one of the facts that, when you listen too much, when you're deep in the conversation, you yawn or you zone out or you get lost in your own thoughts. Yeah, so these are the different ways. So one tip that I got was rub your palms against each other. So that way it kind of, brings back your attention. You're more mindful, you're present again. right? Sometimes, yes, writing helps, but sometimes writing, yes, Kapil is doing it. So if you feel like,
Randy.
yeah, just rub your palms. So that is a very beautiful tip that I got from another coach, right? It did help me as well, and I stopped yawning. And what the coach told me was, if you're feeling like yawning, please do it, right? Don't stop yourself. Yeah. So
But
whatever
doesn't it look bad, like in front of the person? Okay, you're yawning at what I'm saying.
even if you're kind of holding it back and restricting it, right? So whenever I'm getting that feeling, I would look at my video, right? It is very obvious. Okay, you're trying to yawn, but you're kind of controlling it, right? So instead, just open your mouth or whatever, yawn. Yeah.
And what does the coachy think?
With the
You're not
loud,
listening. I am boring. What do they think?
Believe me, Deepika, if we can do something like that, I mean, at least not show that I'm actually yawning on your face, but instead of that, when the yawn
I,
comes,
I still don't have guts to do it though.
I think
Yeah.
that is something like, for example, I'm talking,
Yeah. Correct.
I do
Correct. Close
something
your
like that.
face.
I think
Right.
You
Absolutely.
want to hide it.
Yes. Yes.
Or just say something like, sorry for like, I'm just little feeling little
No,
tired
that'll
or
bring
something
more
like that.
attention to that
No, no, no,
issue.
no. Yeah. You should not tell.
That brings more attention.
because the person is sharing something, right? Let him share.
Yeah,
Let what he.
personal, and then you're yawning. That is the other part. Maybe they'll stop talking, I think.
Mm.
I don't know.
and it
Uh,
doesn't, you really don't know how the, see, if the person may think that way that, okay, she or he is yawning, it's natural to chew, and some other person may feel that way also, like yawning. So, okay, I'll talk less now, or maybe my talk is getting boring or something like that.
क्योंकि हमको तो
see,
सुनना है ना आधा घंटा भी कपिल आई नो ही हैज कोच्ड मी ही इज सच अ पेशेंट लिसनर यू कैन टॉक फॉर एन आवर एंड ही इज लिसनिंग एंड ही इज रियली लिसनिंग he's catching each and every word. I have not seen you zone out anytime, Kapil. I don't know how you do that. Uh, that's amazing, and I want to learn how
Keeping
you
all
do
the
that.
questions aside,
right.
thrown all the
I,
question banks.
I wanted to do open acknowledgement. Yesterday, I had a coaching conversation. The guy I'm coaching from last 1 year now, I yawned twice. So this is a signal of the feedback. This is how I'm saying, to see something. You may be holding a judgment, which is making you not really present. So just see that reflection also. Need not to be that. It could be purely physiological impact. I'm not denying
Mhm.
it. But every time you yawn, at least don't judge yourself that you know what, Kapil, I'm yawning it, or like I'm zoning out. And then you just labeling it again and again, and then literally you're yawning, zoning out. So I think don't judge yourself for that. That's what Deepika said. Acknowledge that. That's the main humility. That acknowledge, yes, this is happening, and I don't need to. I zoned out. That's fine. Let me just bring my awareness back to this person, and then you are again in the game. But because moment you judge, what happens then? You're not in the game.
But then, can we ask them to repeat, or it would be bad?
Yes, perfectly
You can
okay.
say that I zoned out and asked to repeat.
You don't need to mention that explicitly, but you can say that, hey, would you like to repeat what you said? Just
Okay.
say that. I would like to listen to you again. I just wanted to make sure that I did not lost anything.
And I have one more question, Kapil, which I think I asked you as well. Around from where are you guys getting clients?
That's a big question. You're opening a new Pandora box. And I'm just cognizant of the timing because I don't want to hold you guys. Is it okay if we just take it for the next session? And I'm
Sure.
happy to have this thread started on to the chat as well. What are the ways we can create clients? So one is finding the clients, another is creating the clients. We can do in both.
How can you create client?
Hmm.
That
Ask
is
us.
advanced knowledge, is it?
I think we spoke about this, Kapil, right? In one of our replers meeting only about creating. Like you spoke about how in every conversation that we have, we can create an opportunity for a potential client.
Yeah.
Oh,
In one of the meeting discussed. It has been discussed.
Tanushri is full on by taking the notes, it seems.
I also have one
She,
question.
yeah,
I
because,
just register more when I write, so it
yeah,
I'm in the session that time.
please, please do the honor of sharing what you have written if you feel
Yes.
like sharing. Yes, 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 Shaista, yes.
Because I am just starting, so I am confused, like how to do that, how to start. I mean, what kind of certification I need to do, or which one would be good. Uh, I
Okay,
need some.
one more thing, Shaista. It might be helpful to you. I wanted to share, and few of you might already be aware, and I think Sujana is aware, positive psychology slash 100x. That's the program by a coach. I forgot his name. I haven't done this program, by the way. I thought of doing it, but I did not do that. It's a great program, worldwide program. Go for I think 6 weeks or 7 weeks, if I'm not wrong. It's based on the
Positive
scholarship.
intelligence. Yeah,
Yeah, positive
scholarship.
scholarship.
Shiksat.
So you just need to apply it. Last date is, if I'm not wrong, 22nd of July. And if you feel you have a bandwidth and capacity to go, and I have heard a lot of positive feedback about this course. It's I think it's a self-paced course with one weekly call as an online with Shamim. Shamim is the guy, if I'm not wrong. And I'll flick a link to you, and I would encourage Shaista, see if you can get the funding, if you can get the enrollment, because the one of the criteria I know is that you should be a coach who is a practitioner, who is already coaching, because they will create pods, they will create groups, and plug you with another coach. So that is one thing you can just explore. I'm not sure how that turned out to be, but I'm happy to have one conversation with you, Shaista, on this. Um, if you but anyways, we have the learned coaches. Please feel free to share anything in your mind for Shaista here.
No,
What would be the
Shirsat's, I'm also planning to get. I had applied for the pod, but then I got lazy to build the pod. So there is somebody else who's building the pod, and I decided to jump in there. I think they're looking for one more coach or two more coaches. If anyone is interested, then I can put their names through.
Sorry,
yeah?
which one? I didn't get you.
It's a positive intelligence. Sorry, the
We'll
one
free.
that
We will
Kapil
see
mentioned.
positive
Shirsad it is.
positive.com slash 100x, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Positive psychology slash 100x.
Positive psychology is another one. Positive intelligence, I think this is.
Artificial intelligence, yes.
Shirsad, Shirzad.
Shirzad, yes, yes, yes. I was mistaken on his name. By the way, this is not a recommendation from my side.
Hmm.
I'm just sharing based
Hmm.
on not my experience, based on others people's experience, coaches example. So you take your own call for this program.
Yeah,
I
got
haven't.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Kapil,
Um,
just on the same lines, like one more important resource that I found in this week, like in that Ultimate Coach community, if you've seen Ankush Jain and Eric, they created one coaching program, 4 sessions, right? Being sessions, right? That is specially for coaches, I believe. So
yeah,
I
four.
got 4. So I got the recording of the first 2. I think 2 more are to happen, or I don't know, but I got 2. So I think
It's
that's very useful, very, very useful. I
yeah,
found.
it's on the beings.
Sujana, can you share that?
What's the name of that
I
program?
really don't know how I can share that because I
It's
enrolled
on there.
that, I received the recording link on my email. But what I can do is we can ask Ankush how this can reach to more people. Like maybe if your email ID, if you can provide me, I can just message him that these are coaches and they are interested. right? So they can send you the recording.
And that link is going to be expired by 31st of July. So there would be 4 1-hour videos by Ankush and by Eric Lofholm. So it's on the being journey. I don't know if you know about this journey. Anyone has across the journey of being who you're being is the important thing. So uh, go and follow the Ultimate Coach group. See if you can resonate with that. It's on Facebook. Um, there they're talking about it's a big group of 9,000 people, freely shared information, a lot of resources available. It would be really helpful for you guys in your personal transformation from one angle of who your being is everything. All you're doing gets created from your being. Again, don't want to go into the detail considering the time right now, but happy to share the resources. And maybe Sajna, please feel free to share a
Yes,
small note about that onto the group for people if you wanted to.
sure,
But
sure.
give some information on the background so that people can understand. Just because I'm not sure, Shaista, it might be helpful because it's an investment of 4 hours from your life, and just be cognizant of that as well. Because your ask was very different. Your ask, if I'm not wrong, was on how do I start my coaching journey? Where do I start from? Is that your ask?
Yeah. What kind of certification and recommendations to start with?
So I'm happy to share there are a lot of certification bodies available on internet. ICF is one of the standard bodies. I did not do ICF certification, but there are NLP courses available. I
Yeah, and
think
NLP, I was thinking.
yeah. So there is one thing. There are a lot of things available. However, to begin with, you can go any simple course of life coaching so that you get a hang of it, what exactly it is. You know,
Anybody heard about Shilpa Singh's courses? Singh $1 million coach or something. Some courses are there like that.
no, no, not really. There are so many. Like internet is flooded with a lot of coaches like us.
Law of attraction. So many coaches are there. Manifestation and all.
See what resonates with you. That's how I go actually with them. Get your hands dirty in this pool. Welcome.
In a child healing, there's like also very much, so many people are there for that.
Sure. Any suggestions from Shaista for Shaista from anyone here?
I began with Vikram Dhar's NLP Academy, Coaching Academy,
Oh,
and I felt that as an introduction, not just an introduction, but it actually helps you to, you know, get into a little bit of a good stream of coaching rather than just manifestation and this coaching and that. These are all branches of coaching. But if you're
Yeah.
like he said, life coaching, in that case, then Vikram Dhar has good sessions. He has online and offline too. Um, this is I've done in 2020, and I've done a couple of uh, you know uh, other courses, happiness and well-being, and all those emotional intelligence coaching and all with him. So that was my introduction, and I felt that was a very strong introduction for coaching to begin with.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you for this reminder. Vikram is awesome. I did 2015 or 2016 with him in Bangalore, 7 days in-house course. And I would recommend if you can do a 7 days that I don't know if it still happens 7 days course with him.
No, I think it's a 4 5 day thing. Offline, it happens very less. Now he's more in Dubai most of the time, and whenever he arranges here, it is I think once saw, but I think online it's available. Online, when I had done, this was the first time because COVID hit. That went online. Ours was the first or second online batch, and we had for 15 days.
How was your experience? Have you also gone online versus offline also later?
Offline, I couldn't go after that. So I went in with online and it was 3 hours per day, 15 days continuously. and it was very
I
impactful,
also
I've said.
checked. I also checked with him, Vikram Dhar only. I inquired, so he told offline is not available, only online available.
Hmm. Because he's traveling between countries now, so I think hardly once or something, once in a year or something, I mean, brings it out nowadays.
Mhm.
And I think he's clubbing now with NLP master practitioner and this and all together. And I think the last time I'd heard once was a Goa retreat kind of a thing where he had done a 5 6 day thing where NLP and master practitioner and all he had done.
So that's a good starting point, I would say. Yes, that's a good recommendation. Thank you for reminder, Tanushree. I mean, I would say if you can't really do that to begin with, just go with any basic course, but don't go any branches course. Go with the core life coaching or the coaching stuff, to so that you get a hang
Coach
of
area, even coach area has good, it is on a
it.
higher side, but
That's
yeah,
ICF
but
body. That's from ICF
yeah,
body.
yeah,
Yeah.
ICF body.
So I would recommend go for ICF only when you're fully prepared. You know,
I
because
did my
ICF
life coaching from
of
Indian Leadership
time
Academy.
investment. Lot of so go with that slow. Take slow steps here. When you explore the journey first with the baby steps, and then you can jump onto that.
What about healing, like inner child healing and all,
Many
quantum
people doing
healing?
that. You don't, I mean,
Again, coach, being a coach, you would need that at one point of time. So let the time come. You will get knocked out. But are you looking for healing as a profession, as a healer, as a therapist, as a profession, or are you? What's the question?
I mean, I was just exploring inner child healing. I was interested in that also. So I'm just wanted to know, like, what's the
So
your view about that?
inner child healing for yourself, or you
No,
wanted to
no,
make it
for
for inner child?
modality. She's
yeah, as a
looking
profession, yeah,
as a modality, she's looking.
the modality, yeah.
Hi, Shaista, I'll just tell you something in another coaching group where I am. They were saying one lady, she's an inner child coach, and when she's putting up her ads on Facebook, they are kind of banned because it is considered little sensitive and they don't want anybody to advertise like that. So some things like they ban. So inner child, whatever ads she puts are banned, and then somebody pulled up an terms and conditions, and it said, if it is risky they will not let you advertise it. So that is just one pointer I would like to give. So people were suggesting her, instead of inner child healing, just change the name and you can advertise. So just for your information, FYI, that you might be facing some issues on Facebook to just advertise as an inner child. You might want to do research on this, but this is what I came across and I wanted to let you know.
Inner child healing also comes from a little psychological perspective. So,
Yeah.
I mean, clinical psychologists who are trained in that would really look at just homegrown inner child healers as not capable of handling, because sometimes inner child, sometimes no, most times inner child healing brings out deep seated traumas, which we as regular healers cannot handle it. You need to have a 360-degree perspective when you're doing inner child healing. Requires number of years of deep learning and practice. So you can consider it as like a parallel line which you are constantly learning and doing that thing. You can take up, I think there is one, just thinking, or just being center in Pune. I think they do a lot of these kind of courses. They come from a deep psychology background and all, also the founders. And just being center, I think that is the name. You can just check out on, I've seen them on Instagram, I follow them, but I don't get into the inner child healing part because it is a little bit out of boundary. You need to work really deeply in that area.
That's kind of like related to traumas healing, childhood traumas healing.
Yes, and you cannot directly enter into a childhood trauma area because uh, one thing is that, see, I was working with, I mean, I know people who are homeopathy doctors, and they have entered into trauma, and because they know the anatomy come the mindset part both through their education. And it is not like 1 or 2 years of education for them. It's like a 4 or 5 years education plus he has practiced, and now he's gone ahead and started working on trauma. What you say that there's a name for it. Trauma. Uh, there is a name for that part, trauma seated or something like that. And he's been working on many modalities, and he has come to a point and he says that, see, it's one of the modalities which you'll use, but when you're entering into that area, you should know how to get the coachee out or the mentee out also from there. It is easy to enter into and touch the part, but it is a very sore part. Once they enter into it, you should be capable enough to handle that part, where you know at what point to pull them out of it. It requires practice, it requires supervision. So if you as a counselor is working, you need to have a supervisor with whom you're constantly in touch with that. So I think a transaction analysis or something of that kind as a base would help you to understand the counseling part, and then you can use inner child healing from any other courses. I think you need to create a base before you get into inner child healing, is all that I'm saying. Trauma informed
Yeah.
stress, something that's the name nowadays that they're using. And you have to be really careful in that area when it is trauma informed related issues cropping up.
So,
I think you need to be a bit experienced to go there. So when you're starting off, you might not, unless you yourself have experienced and you have gone through and you're able to heal yourself, or some, solid experience you got.
so don't want to scare you, Shaista here. Thank you for this information. But to simplify this for you, now this is how this is how I'm seeing it. Uh, don't take a decision now which field, explore that for yourselves, get your hands dirty, go there, do the courses, meet people, meet coaches, get into the coaching, hire a coach for you, or hire a therapist for you, or hire a healer for you, like, I mean, go through that work for yourself. And when you start the journey, at one point of time you will get in sense, okay, is this for me, or this is for me, or there is a middle path, or none of this for me. So you will get an idea about it, because this is a lifelong commitment, lifelong journey. Very easy to enter, and
Not able to exit.
no, I mean, like, people do exit very soon as well. I've seen a lot of coaches got exit as well, but
I think sustaining is harder. To be consistent and staying on is harder than
it's a
exit is
lifelong
easy.
commitment. It's a lifelong
Exit
commitment.
is easy. Yeah.
You need an inspiration for this. So go and explore. That's the message. Go and explore. Happy to provide you the resources, but go and explore and have a real-time experience for that. That's the best advice.
Yes, thank you for this, for all the information.
All right, I think we have come to our end. So thank you very much for this lovely, lovely interaction. I really loved it.
Thank you, Kapil. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
And
so much, Kapil.
yeah, thank you. Looking forward to have another one lasting session. So we'll share the details onto the group. Please stay tuned. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.